There we go.
Good morning. All right, good morning. So this is it. Your full stack project week. Even though we say backend, it's probably full stack, right? So everything comes together in this week for the server portion of your projects. You already have a front end that you built on React. You're going to build the back end for that front end project called Lambda Nodes. So let's take a quick look at the project. Again, this is going to be a backend for your Lambda nodes. We do want to emphasize a few things. So first one of those is, the rest you can just read. It's just the stack. So it says at least 4 commits a day, but Nando tells me that he wants to see at least 1 commit an hour. So let's aim at having a commit and a push to your branch. Remember, you're not going to run into any merge conflicts. You're working by yourself on your repository. So feel free to push, as soon as you have something worth saving. So if you write a function, it's something that you don't want to lose, go ahead and commit and push. 3 commands, right? Add, commit, push, and you're ready to go. It takes no time, and it could save you a lot of headache, okay? Not because Nando wants to see your progress, but because you want to safeguard your code. So it's a good habit to do a lot of commits. Remember the 20-minute rule. You want to search 15, 20 minutes. If you are stuck, we're not going to, this is a kind of your capstone project almost, right? Kind of a mini capstone project for your backend week. So it's not like we're going to give you a solution, but we can get you unstuck probably. So 20 minutes, go to your PM. If they can't figure it out for another 15, 20 minutes, they'll probably just go to Nando. And if not, they'll end up asking me, right? But as long as you're working on your MVP first, we should be able to get you on stock. And then after that, for the extra features, it's since they're not required, is for you to figure out, right? So we hope that if you embark into going into the extra features, it's something that you want to solo, like the Lone Ranger, okay? But still, reach out because we might be able to get you on stock. So the Trello setup, you already know how to work with Trello. You probably have your account. We are adding this week this blocked column. So let me give you a quick rundown. This is going to be short, don't worry. Quick rundown how it works. So that the idea behind this is, and I'm looking at Slack just in case, we don't even have a questions thread today, not needed. So if anything, you could just speak in channel, type in channel. So this is a sample Trello setup in that scenario where you have your backlog. What goes into the backlog? Well, the whole thing. Everything goes into the backlog. And then from there, you will bring into the to-do already, you will bring only the MVP features. I'm using this blue, what is it called? Label. It's just saying this is MVP. And then this kind of golden one, orangey, would be extra features. If I see red there, that means I have a bug that I haven't been able to fix. And then you could add other stuff like research. This is going to be light gray, doesn't really show much. So you could probably switch it to another color. But the idea is use labels. Labels are helpful because at a glance, you could get a quick look at how many MVP have I done? Am I working on extra features? You could see quickly that these are extra features. Okay, so once you drop all of your MVP on this column, you move it from the backlog here, or you just drop here the extra features, and then the MVP drop it here directly. You have for your cards, but they're not ready to work on it though, right? Like this is an empty card that tells me create a node with a title and content, but what does it mean to create that? And this is where you bring in your tasks. The reason this is to do, right, but it's also, I think of it as ready, is nothing gets dropped in here normally, and probably you would have everything on backlog, and then you drop them in here once you are they're complete. So the idea, ideally, the workflow that I like to see is you drop everything on backlog. You pick, let's say, let me see if I have one that has a few. Well, this one has only one. But for illustration, right? You create a checklist, you give it a name, you can have more than one if you want to, and then you have all of the things that you think you're gonna have to do in order to display a list of notes. Okay, probably not display, that would be more like return a list of notes on the back end, but it's the same idea. So, hey, what is this? What did I just do with this? Weird. Oh, there it goes. So that's the point. The point is you complete the card with some tasks that you think you're going to need to complete in order to have this done. And I can tell you it is really satisfying coming in here then and say, I already built this. And you click on it and you see the progress like 25%, 33%, 44%. It's pretty nice. So do that because that's going to help your PM as they come into your project. The point is it's going to save you time because now he could come in here or she could come in here and at a glance have an idea of where you are on each one of those, right? Because you may be working on one and have to stop. And this is where this blocked column comes in here. So you remember you move left to right, right? So let's say that you start working on this and then all of a sudden you run into a block and you're waiting for help. So what do? Well, what normally people do is, well, while I'm waiting for help on this, I'm going to start working on another one. But here's the thing, though. This is now not reflecting reality. This is telling me that you're working on two things at the same time. But there is a physics law that says you can't do that, right? So what you do is, if you're stuck on the first one, you move it to blocked. And this is pretty cool because now your PM could come in here and see and say, hey, why is this blocked? Then he opens or she opens that. And she will see, let's grab this one because it already has a comment in it. So your PM will see this. Let me see the comments. Why is this? Oh, waiting for PM to help me. Oh, cool. And this happened at this time. Okay. So this is a good way. And you can even go and say what the reason is. I don't know how to do this, or I ran into this error. And you could post more details in here in the comments. So your PMs and Nando is going to be, looking around all the Trello boards, he could see, oh, he's blocked or she's blocked in this. How can I help unblock? So having more detail here in the comments will help your PM figure out whether they can help you with this. They can even go and see what the error is, research it before reaching out to you. And when they have an idea of what it is, then go and reach out to you and say, hey, this error, let's check this out. It might be this might be a workaround for it. So this is the reason of this blocked column. So since you're moving, when you're doing progress from left to right, when you're done, let's say I'm done with this, now you're going to move right to left. So the idea is that you want to see that first, you want to go after the blocked cards. And only if you're sure that you cannot work on one of the blocked ones, then you pull one from the to-do list. But the idea is when moving left to right, looking for something to do, you want to find this block column first and see if you could bring one of those and work on it. Get it done, and then do the same again. Questions about the blocked column and why it's there? So that's it. That's kind of the workflow on that new blocked column that wasn't there before. Of course, these are the MVP features. Hopefully you're going to get those done today or between today and tomorrow. So that way you have Wednesday and the morning of Thursday to work on extra features, okay? And if you want to do some more styling on your front end, whatever, for the demo, you could go and do that. You will notice, though, that persisting, see, this is a new word. There's this here, say, upon your first commit, please submit a pull request and add both the Trello setup and backend, meaning probably the link, and backend MVP features task list to your first pull request comment. So once you're done with that, of course, this is the same as your front end and your UI project. Just message your project manager, make sure that they tell you, yeah, go ahead and start working on the extra features and just hack at it. For deployment, look at this. This deployment is all the way back here, all the way down here. Okay, right before the extra features. After you have all the MVP features running locally on your computer, and you can demo that to your PMs, and they say, go ahead, start working on the extra features. Then you could decide, instead of doing extra features, I'm going to work on deployment instead. So we're going to cover deployment when? Wednesday. And the reason for Wednesday, because I want you to understand that deployment is not the focus of this week. The focus of this week is getting, because you might not, and nearly 100% of the time, you're not going to be required to deploy. Someone else does the deployment. So your job is going to build features, build the product. So you build the product and you make it so that you could demo it here. So it's your decision. You could go into deployment or into the extra features. If I was me, I would try to deploy because it should be an easy, painless process. Once you get the deployment once, it's just we're gonna show you how to do continuous deployment on Wednesday. So where your workflow is gonna be as following. Once you set up the deployment and it works the first time around, all you're gonna do is push to your master branch on GitHub, and that's gonna get it deployed automatically for you. So from then on, it's fine. So it's just getting it set up and doing a few things like environment variables. That's the only tricky part, and we're gonna see that on Wednesday. So if I was me, I get the MVP, then work on deployment, how to deploy at least the first time around, so I know that it works after that. And then from there, work on the extra features. That's what I would do. Of course, that means that if you're done today and you're ready to deploy, but we haven't done the deployment, then you might be stuck. So yeah, work on the extra features then. And then we get deployment done on Wednesday. You should be okay doing deployment on Wednesday, okay? Questions. Why is my Slack disappear for a moment? Here it is. Okay. That's it. And then you have some, auto deploy in Heroku, which is kind of on the extra features down there. Documentation, how to interface with your API. If I would say the first extra feature that you should work on right after deployment, it would be that documentation. But these are not on any particular order, okay? This is just a list of things that are suggested. Yes, you could even do extra stuff that is not here. Of course, doesn't mean that you have to add unit tests and integration tests last. It only means that, we think this is going to be an easy win, and it's something that is really impressive when you have an API that was well documented. Anybody looking at your project will love that. So pagination, kind of something that is not too hard to implement later. You could pass a couple of values to your endpoints. You could use the query string for that, like we did in the examples, and then just let the database layer handle the paging for you using the limit and, skipping some with offset, and then limit how many you want to get per page. Create and display tags that can be added to nodes and stored in a database. This is a many-to-many relationship. You know how to implement that. Allow users to clone nodes, just making a copy of a node. Search functionality could be as complex or as simple as you want. Start simple. And then if you want to go and get fancy, then bringing one of those search servers. But for now, I say do a simple search. And then go from there, right? And then the super duper extra credit bonus features is like integration with Stripe and things like it. But those are going to take a little extra work. So I would say before attempting to do this, because you will go through that in labs anyways. So attempt to work on the extra features first before going into the super duper extra credit bonus. Questions? That's all we have for today. If you don't have any more questions, we're going to be out of your way most of the week so that you could go heads down and work on your project. So go clone it from Training Kit and start working on it. Remember, immediately do your pull request. As soon as you have everything set up, do your first pull request and stay in touch with your PM at all times. And remember, a lot of Gits, it says Git commits, but think of it as Git pushes, right? Keep pushing us. It's never too much. So if you're pushing every 5 minutes, that's even better, okay? Just do something meaningful, something that you don't want to lose. And as long as you have some code that you don't want to lose, push it right away. Okay. I even have a little, um, well, an alias, but it's on the Mac, right? I don't know how to do it in Windows. I have another little alias that all I do is two commands. So I have one for the commit the commit that will add all the changes and commit, and then another one for the push. So you could go and do that if you have a Mac. But it's three commands, so please, a lot of pushes. All right. That's it. I see typing Slack. Cool, Nicholas. Haha. So PowerShell. Nice. I use the command line though. I don't use PowerShell. It wouldn't work for me, but for people using PowerShell, it would work. I just haven't gotten around to it. All right. So go have fun. And remember, 20 minutes, PM, section lead. And then if all else fails, I could probably go in there and see you suffer. I mean, trying to help you. So I'll see you on Slack.